From VTV Channel 6 Studios in downtown Vernal, this is Local Point with your host, Chris Piner.
Hello everyone and welcome to Local Point, brought to you by Strata Networks. I'm Alex Monsen, filling in for your regular host, Chris Piner. Joining me in the studio today, we have Joni Olson and Anna Mae Drexel, who are here to talk about the upcoming Basin Arts Council's performance of The Messiah. Is that right?
That's right.
Awesome, awesome.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you for being here. I should have said that first. I should have said thank you. I guess before we start, for those who don't know, do either of you know what the Basin Arts Council really is? What that entity is?
I actually don't really know.
Well, they pretty much formed just to start, kind of get some more culture and promote the arts in the area. And I'm not personally involved with it, so I don't know a lot of the ins and outs and the details of it. But I know they do a great job promoting the arts activities and events that are happening here. So
I know I've benefited. I've gone to their things, and been a part of the musicals and things that they do around town also.
They gather up a lot of outside performances and artists and bring them all in, and kind of just for the whole community's benefit. They have the Utah Symphony comes from time to time, and they have different groups, and they have a lot of good performances provided for our area. It's fun to attend.
Well, excellent. I do know that there are a few different arts councils in the area, but if you're not then members of the Basin Arts Council, you're obviously involved in the Messiah. So let's go ahead and ask you, what exactly, Joni, do you do? What's your part involved with the Messiah coming up?
Yeah, I am one of the choir directors, and I will also be conducting the orchestra, and I also sing some of the arias during the Messiah. And it's my 6th year. I really love it. It's one of my favorite things about living in the Basin is being able to perform with the Messiah every year. Awesome.
So that word aria, did I say it right?
Yeah.
I could have butchered that. So aria, what exactly, do you know what does that mean? It sounds like a solo type piece?
Yeah, it's a solo. There are also recitatives, which is more like speaking. They speak the scriptures in the Messiah. And the arias are a song, and they're the pretty solo songs. They're also duets.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, there we go. See, I didn't know that. Maybe they didn't know that. And Anna Mae, what's your part in this upcoming performance?
Well, I play the cello, and so I'm just in the orchestra, and I've been playing with this particular group for about 5 years. And I grew up, honestly, just playing the Messiah every year. It's a family tradition, and it's kind of, even when I was little and could only play a few notes, here and there, we kind of all packed up and did it, and it's just been fun, and it's fun to get to do it even here in the Basin.
That's awesome. So you both, it sounds like, have lots of musical experience. Would you say this group that's performing, it's an orchestra and the chorus, the choir that's going to be singing, so do you find lots of other people who have done the Messiah often, who have lots of this kind of musical life? It sounds like both of you, this is your life.
You'd be surprised the amount of talent that's here. You don't hear it because everyone has their day jobs or their moms or dads, or, they kind of are doing that but there's quite a lot of talent. I would call this, wouldn't you call it more of like a learning orchestra? Because there's like people who've been doing it our whole lives, and then there's students, high school students, even younger students, that, we kind of just pal together and we help everybody and we move forward, and it's kind of, it's a learning process, wouldn't you?
It's a good mix of there are professionals in it also, and younger kids in high school that are mentored by the older people. So
that kind of leads me to another question. So how old? It sounds like there's elementary school kids, like you said. So how old do you have to be? Is there an age limit? I guess if you can play an instrument or sing or do a part, you can be a part of.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's no age limit. There's,
It's mostly older people.
Yeah, it's mostly
older
people, but there's a few. I have a few. 2 of my students actually who are, probably, I think they're middle school age actually, but they're accomplished enough that they can read the music and kind of keep up and figure out as they go along, and that's really what it boils down to.
We don't turn anyone away.
Well, that's awesome. I bet it's really good for these people who are learning too. So you said these people who are learning how to play music and read the music.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I played the piano. If I ever got to do something like this, I think it would have helped me feel a lot more confident in how I could perform. And being able to play next to somebody who I know is experienced and can just be right there next to me and this kind of thing, I think it sounds kind of neat. A neat experience for someone like that, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun. That's how I learned the Messiah, being the student side of that, and so it's fun to carry it on. It's fun.
Awesome. Well, we don't have a lot of time left in this segment, and we're going to mention it again in the next segment. But if you could just mention, do you know the dates and where it's going to be and the time?
Yeah. It'll be Friday, December 14th at Roosevelt Junior High School. And that's easy to get to. You just turn right at Subway when you're going to Roosevelt. So 7 p.m. It's about an 80-minute show concert.
Awesome. Well, all right. Well, that kind of wraps it up for this segment. We'll be right back to hear more from Joni and Anna Mae right after this message from our sponsor, Strata Networks.
Strata Networks is proud to bring the first true 4G LTE network to the Uinta Basin. 4G LTE is the most powerful mobile broadband available anywhere in the world. With speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G, you can stay connected like never before. Video chat without delay, stream HD TV or movies in an instant, and download or upload in seconds. For details, visit us in Roosevelt or Vernal or call 622-5007. More speed, more power. 4G LTE, only from Strata Networks.
Welcome back to Local Point. With us, we have Joni Olson and Anna Mae Drexel. I got your last name right? Excellent. Talking about the Messiah performance that's coming up from the Basin Arts Council. For those who might have missed the first segment, could we just mention again those dates and the time and the place?
Yeah, it's Friday, December 14th at Roosevelt Junior High School. You just turn right at the Subway if you're on Main Street in Roosevelt. Not hard to get to.
Excellent. It's the big brand new building.
Yeah, it's a nice auditorium.
It is. I love that auditorium. So yeah, while we were in the first segment, it got me thinking. I've went to many Messiah concerts myself. I really enjoy it. I know lots of people enjoy it this time of year. But I don't know, I don't think many people, myself included, know a whole lot about the actual Messiah. And I don't know, where you two perform in it and do lots of that stuff, do you know a whole lot about how the Messiah came about or about the music itself?
It's been 270 years now since the debut of the Messiah in Dublin, Ireland. And still there are performances all over the United States. I remember in New York City even there's been 30 performances of the Messiah alone in New York State. But it's amazing that we can have it out here in the Uinta Basin, a piece of music that's 270 years old. And it really is a chronicle of the entire life of Christ from the King James Bible. And so we get the birth, the death, the resurrection, everything, and the text is very much from the scriptures. That's what makes it really special to the people that go and want to feel the Christmas spirit, I think. So
I think it's great. And like you said, it is great to have something like that in the Basin. I know lots of people think, out here in the Basin it's kind of maybe not very cultured, there's not a lot of art. But I've actually been to quite a few plays and productions that the Basin Arts Council has done, and I think they do a pretty good job. I'd say that they do a really great job.
I've been to the Utah Symphony more often than my family that lives in the Wasatch Front, living here in Vernal.
So because of when they come out here?
Yes, the Basin Arts Council brings them out here. So
see, I think that kind of stuff's great. When people say there's nothing to do, every time I go to like the grocery store places, I see flyers saying this person's coming, and the concerts or whatever. That reminds me, is there a cost for the Messiah? Is there going to be a cost?
No, it's free to the public.
Yeah, it's free to the public, and really it's a really special experience just to kind of be there and get the wow factor of the choir and the orchestra. And it was, I think, it was originally written, actually Handel wrote it for like a much smaller setting, and then didn't you say Mozart came along and wrote a lot of like the extra...
The brass.
Yeah, he wrote all the brass, and he wrote a lot of the extra orchestra pieces to really turn it into this huge production that we know it to be today. So it's really kind of evolved into just a really great piece of work. So,
well, like you said, I think it's a traditional thing. I think one of you mentioned earlier to me before we started the show that it was kind of a tradition for your family to go to this.
Yeah, we would every year, it was our, we would all have our different little instruments that we'd pack along, and we'd go and be a part of some of them were small settings, some of them were big settings, and those of us who weren't big enough to play in it, we'd go and get to listen, and you really just become familiar with the story of the Messiah. And so it's been a fun thing for my family anyways.
Yeah.
Excellent. So people maybe who want to come and they want to participate, they want to watch. I know growing up, I grew up on a small farm, and I definitely was not cultured growing up. And so for people who might be a little worried about whether or not it's going to be something worthwhile to see, would you say the quality, because you said there's all sorts of ages, maybe some people might think, oh, well, it's not going to be that good. What would you say about the quality of this orchestra? You call it the Roosevelt Pop Symphony.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is going to be the quality that people can expect when they go?
It's going to be good. We're getting better every year also.
We really are. And the Messiah, it's such an amazing work of art that it brings out people from, that would typically not come out for just little orchestra concerts. It really brings them out of the woodworks, and we all get together because everyone gets so excited about playing such magnificent music. That's why I go every year. I don't miss it every year because it's just such fun to play. So
yeah, my family comes out from the Wasatch Front every year because this is the thing that helps them feel the Christmas spirit, this performance of the Messiah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess you could say that, like you said, Christmas, I don't think Christmas would be the same without you hearing the music from the Messiah. You hear it on the radio even. Mm-hmm. It's not like you don't hear the Hallelujah chorus.
Yeah, I think everybody could sing along.
Exactly.
With the
everybody
chorus.
can recognize
really
that. I grew up in Bushwhack in the middle of nowhere, Bluebell, Utah, and I knew exactly what that was and what it was a part of. Mm-hmm. Well, again, let's mention the dates and times for the audience so they can make sure and get there, because we want everybody to be able to make it. We don't want anybody to miss this opportunity to see the Messiah and a good performance.
Yeah, we've been working hard too. It's going to be great. And it's Friday, December 14th at Roosevelt Junior High School in Roosevelt.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much, you two, for coming and talking about this.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for all of the viewers for watching today's show. That's it for now. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6.